Sayara and Benny works at a countryside cafe, and it was the cafe's one of the least busy branch. So naturally, they were the only employees here. And unlike their other branches, this cafe closes by sharp 7 p.m. During hiring, their employer made it pretty clear not to stay after 8 p.m. One day, Sayara was scrolling on her phone after work and forgot to clean up. Benny came to kitchen, ready to close, after finishing his part of the work. Sayara informed him about the pending work. This was the first time something like that happened, and it was already time to close and go home. 7:30 p.m. on the clock. So they decided to finish the rest of their cleaning together. But they lost track of time, talking, watching funny videos, taking time, doing their cleanup. Sayara was putting away the dishes in the dishwasher when she was startled by the sound of rustling leaves. Benny was throwing the garbage out. He too heard the sound and walked to the back of the kitchen. They both looked at the direction of the sound, and they saw two shining eyes like that of some wild animal. Sayara screamed out in fear. Benny ran inside and closed all the doors. They heard panting and growling outside. They thought it was a tiger or something of the sorts. Even though there is thick, forest-like trees behind the cafe, they never even once saw any animals or experienced something remotely similar. However, they felt safe inside, as there were iron shutters. Even though they were terrified, they were hesitant to call for help, as it would put them in trouble for not obeying the rules and staying after time. Or worst, getting fired. They decided to wait for the sounds to stop to get out of there. But in an hour, the sounds grew closer and louder, and they started panicking. They turned off all the lights. The sounds grew even louder by every passing minute. And then, the violent scratching on the iron shutters. They felt so numb and horrified. Benny even saw something like a big wolf outside the window, peeking in. They both started crying in despair. After a few hours of pure horror and hopeful wait, they heard a few vehicles approaching, stopping by. Soon enough, all the growling and scratching stopped. For a few minutes, they heard the engines and then they took off. Both the vehicles and the animals. After all the commotion, that night they slept in the kitchen, waiting for the horrible night to pass. Sayara opened her eyes, and thankfully, it was day again. She opened the doors and went outside, and Benny went with her. They saw big scratch marks on the walls and the iron shutters, almost ripping them. They soon called their manager, informed him everything. They were ready to get fired, rather than being attacked by some wild animals. They were told to come to the office and not to open the shop. To their surprise, management was really nice to them. Not only that, they were even offered jobs in their city locations, which is pretty hard to get. And they were even given a week off before joining back. And the only thing management wanted in return was for them to sign an NDA, which they did. A week later, as promised, both of them were put in city locations, but in different cafes. They couldn't forget what happened that day, and so kept in touch, sharing their thoughts and comforting each other. Soon, one day, they decided to visit the countryside cafe again. They both met with the current cafe workers. They were both men, Gary and Roy. They introduced themselves and talked about work and other stuff apart from that day's incident. Everything was normal, like before, occasional regular customers. And for the scratch marks, all gone, newly painted walls, and the whole place, like new, all set to go. And, to their surprise, still no CCTV, even after everything. This cafe was their only branch without CCTV. And the question remains, why?